Reframing Podcast, c'est un podcast qui est là pour faire sensibilisation et éducation sur santé mentale dans un langage qui est facile pour comprendre. Reframing Podcast porte pour moun k'ap koute yo plusieurs sujets qui pourraient aider yo réfléchir sur une situation négative ou sinon difficile dans une autre perspective ou soit dans une façon qui est plus positive, ça qui ka aider yo faire penser négatif tourner opportunité pour changement à croissance. Reframing Podcast, un espace pour sensibilisation et éducation sur santé mentale. Hi everyone, welcome to Reframing Podcast. My name is Dr. Jeff Cadichon, your host. Reframing Podcast. This space is a mental health space dedicated to raising awareness around mental health. I'm happy to be with you today. Today, I am very honored to have as a guest here someone that is very special, someone that is very amazing. I'm so happy to have her with us today, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna enjoy that conversation. You're gonna learn from that conversation. So our guest today, Renée Reverse. She's a licensed mental health counselor and founder of Reflective Reverse Therapy and Consulting. Renée, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Jeff, for having me. I'm so excited to be here and for this conversation.
Yes. You are Asian American, can I say it like this?
Yes, I am Haitian American.
Which means you were born and grew up here, but from Asian parents. Ça veut dire parler créole.
Oh, il me parle créole. Je dis, c'est un diaspora mieux, so créole là, tijan lou, mais me parle créole.
So, moi vraiment content de gagner aujourd'hui. Donc, on a utilisé deux langues et surtout, nous pourrons parler de un livre qu'on a publié en janvier 2026 là, qui est vraiment important. Mais avant, moi et Baldi, mon plus bagaille sous avant de nous arriver sur le livre là. Donc, Renée is a mental health, licensed mental health counselor. Li fait un pile travail. Moi, par contre, si vous voulez que moi exactement li ba yo, Jean Léa, ou du moins, because you have such an amazing voice. So, moi, voulais mon entendre plus.
Yeah.
What would you say about your work? Instead of reading your bio, comment tu as dit non, qui sont fait comme travail, pour qu'ils soient choisis, non counselor, pour qu'ils soient choisis, field ça. Yeah, tell us more about that. So this field, your career, choice to help people, to get connected to people, to support people. Tell us more about your work in your career.
Yeah. Pour moi, c'est pas un career qui me choisit, c'est un bagage qui choisit. And so I've always been somebody who served others, but I'm somebody who also needed therapy. So depuis mes 14 ans, j'ai commencé la thérapie. J'ai gagné un bagage qui était arrivé dans petit monde et puis je pas comprendre ça yo té et puis c'est dans l'em arrivé dans high school. My counselor dit que oh tu es fâché, ça t'est arrivé. Premier monde qui m'a dit ça t'est arrivé. And so je parlais avec lui et puis quand ça allait maman et puis je commençais la thérapie. So j'aime pas là affecter, j'en ouvert ziem, j'en aide me guérir. Me dit I want to give that back. I want to help other people. And so that began my journey and wanting to become a therapist. And so I'm primarily a trauma therapist. I work with individuals, couples, and families. And it's not just trauma work, but it's primarily, that's how I orient. So, depuis on moun gen bagay ki doualou pou yo kembe, travay avec yo pou m'aider yo, have a better outlook on life and really be able to access joy.
Wow. Et you just mentioned that about your personal experience in therapy. Et you know how it feels. Ou kon sa vle di.
Yeah.
You needed that safe space at this moment. You had that space. A counselor dans l'école ou te permettre que vous jouez accès à ça. Et puis vous rendre compte que son bagage qui fondamental. Et je pense que ça, c'est, genre avec expliqué là, it was a key experience qui pourrait faire que vous choisi aider mon en retour. Donc, mais maintenant, Kounia, je ne pas vraiment de pour tourner dans l'enfance ou pour dire tout ça que t'es passé. Donc, mais il faut aussi parler de l'enfance. Donc, et dis-nous comment notre travail, notre expérience personnelle et notre travail, tout, enfance au monde, your childhood, comment the experiences of adversity during your childhood,
Oh, yeah.
you know, how that can impact the person we are today, like how that can impact us in our adulthood.
Yeah. So, m'a dit parti ça en anglais.
Okay,
Parce
go.
que
You
c'est
can
facile
go.
pour moi. So, there's a part that went through the journey. So I was healing. I started healing at 14. And then on the other end, there's the part that I've learned through school. And so when I go back to my experience as a child, I was 14. I was angry. I had experienced childhood sexual trauma. And that turned me into an angry teenager. And so when my high school counselor saw that, she said, "What happened to you?" And the way she asked the question changed things for me because I no longer felt like the shame was mine. And so I was able to talk to her about it.
Yeah.
And so the healing journey started there. It didn't stop there. It started there. I've been healing, I think, my whole life. But then as a clinician, when I start learning about the maladaptive behaviors and how not healing impacts your attachment to your partners, your friendships, your self-esteem and your self-worth, then I began to understand how it shows up for other people. I'm very grateful that I was able to start at 14, such a young age, but some people don't start until later in life.
Yeah.
And you see how it impacts their relationships, relationships that they have or relationships that they can't have. And so it's very important that whenever you start, because healing is a gift that you give yourself, but it's something that you have to really invest in, to really understand how it impacts you. And so I work with people to understand where the trauma resides in their body, in their mind, in their relationships, and then how to interrupt those patterns.
That's very important, and thank you for sharing that important piece of your personal experience. And I tend to say, like, I understand a little bit. I've seen that so many times in our country.
Yeah.
And I am committed to raise awareness on that and to change also the mentality, the way we approach that, the way we talk about it, to stand against the double victimization I've been seeing in the country. That's the reason why after my PhD in France, when I decided to go back to Haiti, the job I accepted to do was to be the clinical director of an organization called Nadej, helping survivors, women survivors of sexual violence.
Yeah.
So we built SF House. It was in Jacmel, actually, to provide holistic care to the survivors.
Yeah.
So what you just said and it's something that resonates in me. I know I know I've been exposed to that clinic, and I understand how it looks like, and also people around me, some loved ones, they experience that, and I know how it hurts. And I was not the victim, and I know how I felt about it until now. I'm talking about it, and I had to work on myself also. Of course, I have my personal trauma, and I felt that guilt because I was not there to help, and I had to work on myself. And I think also that was the reason why I've chosen to go back and then to help in that specific field when I left France to go back to Haiti. So yeah, so I think and when I say thank you for sharing this, I know it's very important, and we need to talk about it. We need to let the survivors know that they are not the problem, and we need to point out the abusers, and we need to change the mentality because we need better human being for a better society, and we need also to create safe space for victims and survivors to speak and to feel accepted and then to move forward. So,
Exactly.
and the trauma healing process requires time. We both know that as a human being and as clinicians, you know, and thank you for everything you're doing.
Yeah, thank you.
I wanted to say this. You know, it was not in part. It was not
Yeah.
in the outline of the conversation,
Yeah.
but you know, this is how it is.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's great to talk to you, and I feel the connection. And thank you for sharing this personal space of your life again.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say something about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could I add something? When you talked about how you felt, Jean wè bagay lan, c'est about victime ou teye, mais ça affecte ou. I studied sociology in undergrad. So m gade ki jan system yo affecte moun, epi kon ya nan masters an, mwen ki jan moun affecte system nan. So lem pale de healing, c'est the individual, but the collective community. C'est nous tout ensemble kap affecte le
Yeah,
trauma nan
yeah.
community a. So ka wè sa den jan moun pale avek lot moun, jan nou kompote kon nou yon a lot. You know, when I met you, it was instant
Yeah,
connection,
exactly.
camaraderie, because I felt that you have healed and you are able to offer something
I felt
similar.
it too.
But
Yeah.
nan menm sens lan, lem mwen moun ki pa geri, m santi sa nan yo. So m ka konekte avek yo pou mwe yo, pou moutre yo an lot fason ki jan yo ka viv. And so I think as a society, as a collective, you know, not just as Haitian people, but as people in the world in general, le nou santi yon bagay ki mal, we can't just ignore it. We have to do something about it. And so that's why I love your podcast and the work that you do, the service that you provide, because you are somebody that is creating positive change in the world.
Yeah, we're trying. This is a mission. We no accept the mission. We accepted that, and I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna continue to do it, and thank you for everything you're doing also for the community. So yeah, you are a blessing to the community, to the world. So yeah, you are the author of the book Healing Doesn't Start with the New Year, it starts with you. So before we dive into the structure of your book, I just want to start with the dedication. You said this work is dedicated to the version of me who learned to heal quietly because survival required it. You just shared a piece of your personal experience, but I would like to ask you again. You don't have to give us all of the details, but can you tell us more about this dedication and why you felt it was important to start with this, to open the book with that reflection?
Yeah. We are very proud people, Haitian people.
We are.
And culturally, sometimes when things like trauma happen, nou pa kon kote pou nou metel. Nou se yon moun ki, we've overcome a lot of adversity. We're proud people. And when I remember thinking about bringing this to my parents, it was hard because I'm like, what are we going to do with it? It's not something that we talk about. And so I internalized shame. Même pas se son bagay ki m'pa ka pale de li, m'pa gen droit pale de li. You know, lo gen yon bagay, wap, lo gen yon mize ou bien yon bagay wap ki lou, le chay lan lou, nou kembel. You know, nou al travay, nou leve ti moun nou fè sa nou ti pose fè, men sa pa vle di chay lan pa lou. So I quietly kept to myself what was happening because nobody was talking about it. There was not a space for me to go and discuss this happened to me. And so for me, the dedication was the part of me that remained quiet because it didn't feel acceptable to talk about. I had to heal kind of quietly in order to, one, understand myself and be able to speak about it.
Yeah.
Today, I'm not somebody who's quiet. I'm somebody who talks about it. I create space where people can know that if something happened to you, no matter what it is, there's somebody, even if I haven't gone through it, that will understand. And so I dedicated the book there because some people are still suffering in silence. Some people are still struggling to find a space where they can talk about some of the hard things that they've experienced. And so thus the dedication.
That's it. Yeah. And in the introduction, you mentioned you don't have to become someone new to heal. You don't have to rush, and you don't have to work this path. You don't have to work this path perfectly. Um, I think so many of us can feel overwhelmed by the idea of. The idea that we need to change, we need to be someone new, we need to fix ourselves. We have this idea, but how does this mindset may influence, the way readers, people who are going to read your book, how does this mindset may influence them to in the approach, because the way they should approach the healing journey, I think that's gonna be different if they have a different perspective.
Yeah.
So, for example, someone with the idea of I have to be new, I have to be to fix everything, or you just said we don't have to become someone new. So, why is this very important?
Yeah, because I think there's this understanding that healing is going to feel like something different. And for me, healing is expansive. You're going to add to yourself. You're not going to take away. So you're not going to become somebody new. I'm not going to be that girl who didn't experience that trauma. I am that woman who experienced that trauma, who is carrying it differently. So I'm not a new person. I have a new perspective. I have a new strength. I have a new sense of pride. I'm able to feel joy. And so these things are not because I forgot what happened or what happened doesn't hurt. It's because what happened happened, and I'm learning to remove myself, my identity from the act. And I'm becoming who I always was. And so there was a woman who said, I was at a conference last year. She said, the goal is to get to your pre-birth identity. And so for me, when I heard that, I said, if the trauma changed me, then who I was meant to be was always there. I just have to see how the trauma shifted things. And if I can shift things back and not let the trauma remove me from course, then I'm not somebody new. I'm who I always was meant to be. And so that's why I say you don't have to be a new person. You just have to kind of reclaim.
It's reframing, though.
Yes, it is. It's reframing. It is reframing.
Yeah, in part one of the book, you share that healing isn't a moment; it's a practice.
Yeah.
It's a practice of choosing yourself in small, consistent ways. Dis-nous plus sur ça.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
Parce que là, n'a parlé de guérir. Ça veut dire que vous pensez wap faire un bagay en gens, le fini wap changer gens fait bagay là. But it's the little ways you pick yourself every day. And so when I heal, I feel my body. I understand what I need, and I'm able to take what I need. So for example, if I have to do something for my children or I have to do something for my husband, I can't do anything for them if I haven't taken care of myself first.
Yeah.
And so healing is about making sure that while I'm serving others, I'm serving my community, I also pour into myself.
It's like when you're in the plane, you do si gomba qui rive, faut mettre masse oxygène pour l'avant et puis pour aider l'autre monde. Parce que si tu pas faire ça, ou pas getan aider l'autre monde.
Exactly. And before, let's say before my healing journey, I would want to serve others. I would want to be somebody who was the person that everybody needed. So I would show up and I would overextend and I would give, and then I found myself burning out. And I said, well, what's going on?
I used to do that a lot.
I did that a lot. And then I realized, well, ou pas manger, ou pas dormir, ou pas reposer, mais qu'il est wap fait temps pour tête tout.
Yeah.
And I noticed I'm a better mom when I sleep and I rest and I take care of myself. Lem fait temps pour mal faire chevem, pour mal na spa, pour mal faire facial.
Yeah.
I'm a better wife. And so before, I would feel guilty. Well, you know, bagay sa yo pa important. Bagay sa mpa jam maman fait yo. Maman travaille, papa travaille. So for me, those things were not necessary.
Yeah.
And now I know that those things are accessible for me. So mal fait chevem, mal take care tête moi, make sure que les map serve marim, les map serve timon moi, les map serve communauté a, serve li non on vessel from a body that is healthy.
Exactly, absolutely.
Yeah.
And also, this is reframing. Yes.
Yeah.
And the part two of the book, the 10 resolution.
Yes.
I'm telling you, we're not gonna talk about all of the resolutions. Faut que nous acheter livre là pour nous ka ouais toute résolution yo. Okay?
Yeah. Just a preview today.
Exactly. For example, the first one, protect your peace without disappearing. It's such a powerful one for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you say peace is not the absence of conflict. It is the presence of internal alignment. Wow. Expliquez-nous bagay ça.
Yeah. This one is
It's deep.
especially for papa me fait Haïti.
Yeah.
Me fait aux États-Unis. And so gese de bagay ke m'pa kompran et puis gese de bagay la yap di mwen, m'pa kompran yo. So I grew up hearing, oh, c'est un ti moun ou ye, bagay sa ou pa kompran yo. And so I learned to be quiet. I learned to stay in a child's place. And so as I got older, I said, okay, mwen se gamoun yem kona, gamoun, m'ka pale, mais m'toujou peur. M'toujou, le maman avec papa m'a parlé, m'toujou, m'metem dans position pour m'écouter. I don't want to be disrespectful, but at some point, I have a different opinion. How do I express myself without disrespecting them, disrespecting the culture, still honoring God, but honoring myself? And so protecting your peace without disappearing might look like disagreeing, right? It might look uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
And so being able to have these conversations with people that I respect, I love, I admire, but also my peace comes first. So if my dad is used to working 20 hours a day and I don't want to do that, I have to be able to say, well, daddy, c'est pas comme ça moi lion. M'vle travail pour 4 ans, jou ça, m'pa travail, m'pa travail 2 jobs. Ça c'est pas chez même pas. I have to be able to speak up. And so we can create space where maybe I see it one way, my dad sees it another way, but we can still have a conversation.
So you can create space for effective communication or for assertive communication.
Exactly.
So we can express our feelings without being disrespectful, without yelling, without blaming the other one or blaming each other. So we can find a way to compromise, to validate each other's perspective, emotions, and also agree to disagree, but agree also to find a way to move forward.
Exactly.
And it's very important. I think c'est son bagay dans communauté nous on a rapport parent ak ti moun qui est extrêmement important because parents nous dans temps they didn't like to be told no, for example, ou bien we don't like that, or nous voulons l'autre bagay. C'est comme d'akazo, c'est yo pour décider pour nous dans toute bagay. Donc, ça va essayer de dire là, so nous devons créer un espace, like a safe space where we can share ideas, quand on l'idée qui contraire avec vous, et puis, mais ça va veut dire nous dans conflit, nous dans bataille.
Exactement.
Donc, parents doivent comprendre ça.
And so I feel like the temperament, sometimes it can be overwhelming when you hear somebody speak, because we are a very powerful people.
Exactly.
We speak very animated, and so sometimes that can be intimidating, And so you can still have conversations even when people le tempérament yo pas même avec Paula. You can wait, you can listen, you can understand to connect. And so yeah, so I think especially for American Haitian Americans, however you want to call it, between the cultural divide, our parents still want to reach us. They still want to love us. And so we have to stay in the room in order to bridge that conversation.
That's really important. And nous pas di moun yo pour nous oublier comme si tout ça gagne comme tradition dans culture.
No.
Pendant m'a parlé de ça, m'a songé en vidéo ou t'a dit avant émission que ou te kon jouer basketball. Ça me peut dire là peut-être connaît li ou son fan Miami Heat.
Yes.
Bam Adebayo, he was in the media. And he was in the media, he t'a fait an interview, and this video was very viral, like tout côté sur internet là. Then he got a call from his mother. Et puis il got it to know, he said, oh, okay, I got to Il dit, me doit répondre. In the middle of the interview, it was, Mom, yeah, okay, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm in the media. And then he said, sorry, but you felt like, quel que soit niveau qu'arrivé, nous-mêmes,
Yep.
gon respect nous toujours gagné pour parents nous, et nous voulons toujours là pour yo.
Yep.
Ça me veut dire, c'est que nous pas obligés de débarrasser nous de toute bagaille.
No.
But we can still reframe, and that's really important, like to find a balance.
Yes.
Let's move to the second resolution. C'est sur deux pile.
Okay.
Okay. Another resolution that stood out to me is learn your triggers instead of hiding from them. Dans thérapie, moi travaille un peu avec mon yo sur trigger recognition. Mais et comme dans podcast là, moi vimando vraiment what exactly is a trigger pour mon captain de yo si gon façon qui plus simple pour dire and why is it so important to learn and understand our triggers rather than like avoiding them.
So the easiest way for me to explain what a trigger is it could be a voice, it could be a sound, it can be a smell, whatever it is something that makes you remember something that happened to you. So it triggers you to a memory. Sometimes triggers are positive. You know, when I smell this candle that I smell when I first met my husband, it reminds me of when we first met. That's a trigger. That's a positive one. But some triggers are negative. And so when you see a space or a thing that sends you back to that moment where it might have been traumatic or heavy for you, then it sends you back to something negative. And so those triggers are harder to manage and to understand. And so it's important for you to know your triggers so that way you don't have that trigger interrupt a relationship. It doesn't damage a conversation or your reputation because you're not aware of it. And so you first have to know what your triggers are to be able to find out how to manage them.
Yeah.
And so I think it's your obligation to know so that way you can communicate to a person if you need to ask for grace or you need a moment to just get yourself together.
Yeah, I think the trigger reconnection also is like part of like self-awareness. You see, you understand what you can see, you know what's going on. If you don't know the problem, or if you don't know something, or if you don't know a situation, you're not gonna be able to improve the situation.
Exactly.
Like or to reframe or to do something. So and there's another thing. Lem well him di, mais pour qui ça va aller dans bagay ça?
I know you're going to bring her up.
Two voices, one intention. In the book, you mentioned that. C'est comme si gon côté ou dit, c'est comme si c'est de Renée qui a parlé. So, ça veut dire ou font distinction là. We have two voices, like in the book. The first one, Renée, and the second one, therapist Renée, the therapist. So, Renée provides truth, accountability, and interruption, while the therapist, you are, Renée, offers clarity and regulation. Why was it so important to include that in I don't know, this distinction? So why?
It's for the culture and it's for my people.
Exactly.
And so for me, this is the gift because sometimes we feel like therapy is not for us. Therapy is for everybody. Just like you go to the gym, you need to go to therapy. And so Auntie Nay gives you the same information, but in a way that you might be able to reach you. So m'kadou, bagay sa déranger ou, mais Auntie Nay kap vin di ou, hey, ranger ko oui? So you need somebody to tell you.
Ou utiliser voix on m'attend nous.
Yes.
Nous connaît déjà, même si nous pas moun n'a pas maman nous, mais moun côté nous respecter yo, nous relé toute ma tante.
Exactly.
Nous relé tout tonton.
Exactly.
OK? Et y a pas besoin ma tante nous à tonton nous. Mais nous connaît et c'est ça qui fait et si maman pas là, papa pas là et moun qui dans voisinage là c'est ma tante tel, tonton tel a voyager sous et faut attendre.
Exactement.
So, ça va essayer de dire là, c'est que moi-même qui grandit en Haïti, qui fait en Haïti, et ou bien qui connecté à la culture là, moi comprends ça dire. Faut me couper là pour me tendre ma tante là qui parler.
Exactement.
Donc et ça that's powerful.
Yeah, when I was at the highest point of my depression, I was home and my aunts M'gen un paquet ma tante, sou bo maman ni sou bo papa. Yo tout relem. Yo tout gen différentes voix. Gen yon kap di m ya priye pou mwen, gen yon lot kap di mwen sa fè la ramase ko, gen yon lot kap jurem, gen yon lot kap bam conseil, mais yo tout, vle même bagay, yo vle encourager. So moi-même, m fier de ma tante mwen. Si c'est pas yo, si c'est pas voix pa yo qui me tap tande, qui kap encourager, m pa konnen kote m tap ye kon ya. So m te bezwen thérapie et puis m te bezwen ma tante mwen relem.
Okay.
So c'est ça mette dans le livre là. Mette thérapie parce que nous besoin connaître clinically what we're going through, mais besoin l'autre monde qui ka bam encourager non gens, encourager non gens qui me ka recevoir. So whether you listen to the therapist Renée or Auntie Nay, same message.
It's part of the kind of holistic care or the support system. And research results show that the social support is a key factor in the healing process. And I think this is what you're saying too. And kudos to your family, to your aunties, and to everybody. So part 3 of the book, you emphasize that insight is not the same as change.
Yep.
What is it?
Yeah. You know how they say you know better, but you may not necessarily do better. So the first step is awareness. And then once you are aware, then you're understanding a little bit more about, okay, where does this come from? Mais faut changer. Faut ka comprendre, ça comprendre. Le fini pour changer. But changing is a choice.
Yeah.
And changing is uncomfortable. I always talk about, if I broke my arm, it's not a vital organ. I don't have to fix my arm. I won't die. But if I fix it, I have to break the arm. That's painful.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to go to physical therapy. I have to rebuild that strength in that arm. And it is painful to do. Some people stop physical therapy. Some people don't want to wear the cast.
Exactly.
Same thing with mental health. When you go through your healing journey, it is uncomfortable. It is destabilizing. It is easier to stay where you are than change into something new. Yeah. But that fear that keeps you in that same position is the same thing that is causing the depression and the anxiety. But to get to that other side of fear, to heal, is destabilizing. It is uncomfortable. It might feel like a panic attack. It might feel like overwhelm. And to choose to push past that discomfort to heal is a choice. So with the book, it's going to start it. It's going to let you see where are your patterns, where are your triggers, where is this showing up. But the choice to change, you might need to go to therapy. You might need to take medication. You might need to build community support around that healing journey in order for those changes to happen. So that's what the book is. It's an introduction.
Exactly. It's interesting. The easiest way for me to summarize that is you are aware of what's going on. You have insight. You understand, and we need action. So we need a good judgment. One of my colleagues used to say that, and we explain that also to our clients. So you may have good insight. Sometimes you find people they have really good insight. Si y a pas de problème, non, you comprendre tout bagay. Mais pour yo faire premier pas dans résoudre problème nan, yo pas ka faire. They have very poor judgment action. So you pas poser action. And one thing about the book, because we are about to finish, is the fact that I feel like it fits to everyone. Pour qui ça? C'est pas comme son leçon à réciter pour chaque monde, c'est parce que le met non dans route pour là. Par contre, tu comprends ça me veut dire. C'est comme si route livre la trace chimie pour le mener dans route pour là, dans route guérison pour là, dans route healing pour là, dans healing process pour là. Et puis pour regarder qui après ça qui sont prêt le faire. C'est ça, est-ce que je prends la thérapie, est-ce que m'a fait ça, qui gens, etc. Et ça son gros bénédiction oui, l'aime de son bénédiction pour monde là pour. No, I'm not kidding. So as a clinician, as a human being, I know. So I read the book, I know what I'm talking about. And I already have my personal experience with the book. It's a blessing. And I don't know, ou fini livre là et ou proposer mon yo des portes de sortie si m'ta ka dire comme ça en français, mais comme si m'ta ka dire ou créer et route côté pas gain route peut-être pour mon yo. Vous comprenez, pour yo entrer dans healing process là, and this is absolutely amazing. So this is it. your book is truly, like I put it there, a guide for anyone looking to embark on a journey of healing with patience and honesty. So thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
I'm
thank
proud
you.
of the work you are doing.
Thank you.
I'm very proud to know you.
Yes,
Actually,
me
you
as
know,
well.
and I wish you all the best. We
you.
will stay connected parce
Of
que
course.
nous connecter en petit temps et puis garder là nous retrouver nous et puis nous faire conversation ça. Faut que nous dis moun yo nous parler avant et conversation commencer à enregistrer.
Yeah.
Et c'est dommage caméra pas l'ouvrir.
It was such a good conversation.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I wish you all the best. Et certain que
you.
nous peut croiser encore.
Oh, we're
Donc,
family at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay. I'm from Port-de-Paix. So, qui boit from mon sorti à Haïti?
So, ma maman sorti pour le père, et puis papa me sorti Gonaïve dans une terre nerveux.
C'est ça, cousine.
Yeah.
C'est ça,
Yeah,
maman.
c'est cousine. Listen. Depuis moi figo. C'est mon femme, c'est famille. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Eh ben, et puis, Jean-Musique l'a dit, moi, c'est Freedom qui a musique comme ça, Christopher Laroche. Depuis, Haïti, on carré les famille.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
we are family.
Forever.
So I appreciate you. Thank you for everything.
Thank you for
Wishing you
having me.
all the best. Et puis, mon yo, à l'acheter livre là.
Yes.
Si vous avez un message, c'est qui ça le tapier?
Healing, it's not just for women. It's for women, it's for men, it's for children, it's for community. And
Yeah.
so we owe it to ourselves, we owe it to each other. Start your healing journey, whether it's with my book or in therapy, wherever you start, just do it. 2026 is not waiting. We need you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for listening this new episode of Reframing podcast. I was so happy to be with you. My name is Dr. Jeff Cadichon. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Reframing Podcast, c'est un podcast qui est là pour faire sensibilisation et éducation sur santé mentale dans un langage qui est facile pour comprendre. Reframing Podcast porte pour moun k'ap koute yo plusieurs sujets qui pourraient aider yo réfléchir sur une situation négative ou sinon difficile dans une autre perspective ou soit dans une façon qui est plus positive, ça qui ka aider yo faire penser négatif tourner opportunité pour changement à croissance. Reframing Podcast, un espace pour sensibilisation et éducation sur santé mentale.